Almost Halloween, Flosstubers. It is October 25th, which is a Sunday. Finally getting around to doing another little video. It's been a crazy couple weeks since I did my last one. Just in the past couple weeks, my husband called me the one night because he's on the road. He sent me a text message that he had been at an emergency care Med Express type deal out in Allentown, PA, because he heard a pop in his arm when he was unloading something off the truck. And then it turns out he tore a bicep muscle, the tendon. I'm sorry, he tore a bicep tendon, not his muscle. And he just had the surgery for it on Thursday. So the past couple days have been a little rough with him because he's trying to push himself and not realizing, hey, I should be taking it easier. Today was actually kind of like the first day where he kind of felt like 100%, and not to sound like a bad wife, but I kind of kicked him out of the house and I drove him down because he's not allowed to drive for 2 weeks. I drove him down to our local Moose, which is a local type of club, to go watch the Steelers football game because as much as I love my husband, he needed to go bye-bye for a couple hours because since we met almost 9 years ago, he's always been on the road or working long hours. Not that we don't get along great, but we get along really great in small doses because that's how our relationship has always been. We're used to not being together 100% of the time. And this week he was home while Monday had an MRI. And then he was off the rest of the week because we had, death in the family. My father passed away a week ago, so we had the little viewing on Tuesday and the very small funeral on Wednesday. And then my husband had surgery Thursday, and then Friday I take him out to go get his paycheck. And honestly, today is actually kind of like the first day where I haven't had to do anything for anybody else other than, I mean, make sure the kids are fed, of course, but other than for myself. Because even yesterday it was, hey, hon, I need this. Hey, hon, can you get me that? And then by the time I actually got to sit down and take a breath, I was getting the kids ready. We went to a local fire hall, had a Halloween dance for kids 16 and under. So took all 3 of the kids to that. And my brother-in-law brought his daughter to it. So that was nice. So my youngest one had her cousin there to play with because they're only 9 months apart. And my middle one ended up meeting up with somebody who turns out goes to school with her. So me and the mom exchanged numbers. And the little girl's a grade below her. But still, at that age, it really doesn't matter much. It's just been a crazy couple of days. So I'm finally getting around to sitting down and kind of talking to you guys. Biggest headache, I will say, this past week is I packed up all my stuff to take down to the hospital with my husband. I mean, because his mother drove him down because he didn't have to be at the hospital until almost 1 o'clock. The surgery wasn't until 3. So I still took my youngest to the doctors, to preschool, my niece to preschool. So my mother-in-law drove, my husband down to the hospital, and I went down to be there with him after I dropped the kids off. I had to wait for my mother to get here, my mother and her husband to get here because they were sitting here with Amelia, and then to be here with the other 2. Took my stitchy stuff, and I forgot my box with my needle and my scissors and my thread. And it wasn't even like, oh, I could have ran to the local Joann's to go buy needles and a scissor and a thread because it was the Haunted Hill for most sale. So it was a specialty thread. So thankfully I had my book. So we were good with that. That was probably the biggest aggravation this week was I forgot my box. I couldn't believe it. But I was rushing to get everybody packed up out the door to get the middle one on the bus and then to go pick my niece up to go do the preschool run. The only thing I did manage to get done kind of for myself during the day, because I'm thinking it's going to be a while before I actually have 100% time to myself again, is I went and got my nails done while the little ones were at preschool. But that's about it with life. Excuse me, my eyeball was itchy. I just grabbed a shower and the kids are outside playing, so I figured I'd make a video. Another aggravation this past week. As some of you may know, I did start in on Under the Moon from Charting Creations, but I goofed up. This little part right here was not supposed to be up above there. It's supposed to be up above this one. And when I counted up on the chart, I counted up from here. But then when I went to actually count up, I counted up from here. So I'm in the process of unpicking it. I had started unpicking it, and then I got aggravated with it. I said, screw it. I put it down. I'll get back to it. But otherwise, other than my own goofiness of miscounting on the wrong spot, it's going quite well. I'm really liking it. The moon and the star are in Harvest Moon. And then the tree branches on both sides are going to be done in Crisp. Both of these colors are from Mo's Sale. The whole thing will be done in Mo's Sale colors. And then the fabric is called Nature's Dance from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. Give me one sec. Let me grab my little folder that I had this piece of fabric in to remember what count. This was 28 count Joblin from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, which it's really, really pretty. And when I got it, I kept thinking I needed something foresty to put on it. And at first I thought about putting the Fairy from Hand Dyed on, not Hand Dyed, Fairy from Charting Creations on here. And then Nikki came out with the Under the Moon. And I'm like, that's more suited for this because a fairy needs to have some sparkle. So I did find an opalescent fabric for that. So that was that. I did decide, excuse me, to past 2 days, I picked back up. Oh, my hair is like in my eyes and it's itching. I did decide to pick back up and work on the Doctor Who clock some. So I moved my hoop, and then I started up. I counted up from here in the middle, and I got 12, 1, and 2 done so far. I have to move the hoop again. Both these needle minders are from Minding My Miners by Jeannie Franks. You can see one's the TARDIS, and then this one, there's actually a chart on Etsy. Trying to see if you guys can see this without the glare. Kind of hard. Trying to. There we go, maybe. This one is actually like a black and gray TARDIS with 10 going into the TARDIS. There's actually a chart on Etsy, and I did buy it because I'd seen it in another group of this exact picture. And I'd actually had the chart before Jeannie did this, and I was just like, well, it's 10. I need it. 10's I'm a 10 girl. Though 12 is growing on me. But so I had the chart, and then when Jeannie posted this Doctor Who picture for this 1-inch square, I was like, well, I don't know if I'll ever get around to stitching the chart. I just wanted the chart because it's 10, and like I said, I'm a 10 girl. So we went with that. And that's why I bought that, because it's 10, and I love me some 10. I love David Tennant. I'm looking forward to Jessica Jones. My husband's like, the only reason you're going to watch it is because he's in it. I'm like, yeah, that's going to be a reason I start watching it. But I also am kind of interested in it because I'm a Marvel fan. I'm also interested in seeing David Tennant play a bad guy. My husband's like, oh, he's already played a bad guy, Harry Potter. I was like, yeah, but he wasn't the main bad guy. He was one of the bad guys. He was part of the bad guy cult, you know. And Jessica Jones, which is coming to Netflix next month, sometime it cannot come, I think the 20th, which cannot come soon enough. He's the bad guy. In the trailer I saw the other day, excuse me, I'm like trying to like defluff my hair here. The first full-length trailer I saw the other day, just, I don't know, just hearing him actually be a complete badass. Excuse my language. Just, honestly, I can't wait. I cannot wait. Just something about it. But, another thing I worked on, I did finish up the 4th page, which is really like the 6th page, but for me it's my 4th page because I started this way and then I just dropped down and went over. Because when I finished up here, wherever this page ended, whenever I finished up here, I still had a good bit of thread left, so instead of cutting it and moving the hoop again, I just went down. So I finished this, and I did change out this sign. I made it a brown. It's called Teddy, which was also a color I have in my stash from Mo. And I do plan on doing the gravestones in a gray. I think I pulled Duchess Patty for the gravestones, just because I wanted to change it up a little bit, just to give a little bit more color. And then so that way mine's not the same as everybody else's. But then I'm also still making sure I'm using all Mo thread on it, since this is from her. And as you can see, I've added some to my needle. Do I really need 4 needle mindles on her? No. Do I want them? Yes. So this was the one that came with the mystery package, my little pumpkin kitty. And then I had ordered from Jeannie the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. From Jeannie, because I love the Great Pumpkin. And then I ordered, actually I kind of forgot I ordered him until he showed up. This little steampunky owl. I don't know. He was just cute. And then a while ago I ordered, she had a bunch of horror movie stuff. And then I decided to add this one needle minder onto here. It's Amityville Horror. I'm doing Haunted Hill, Haunted House. It all goes together the same. Not sure when I'm going to pick this back up. I think I might spend the rest of today trying to unpick, or at least part of today till it aggravates me again, unpicking on Under the Moon. That's the one downside to stitching on 28 count. Trying to unpick it is a pain in the butt, especially when you tent stitch it, because at least when you do full crosses, it's a little bit easier to get under those top stitches to cut them. To unpick it. With doing tent stitching, it's a little bit harder because you gotta make sure you don't snip the fabric, and that's my biggest fear, is I'm gonna snip the fabric, and then I gotta find another fabric to use. So I also figured, speaking of needle minders and all that, and I've seen this in other videos, and I figured why not do the same thing? Pull out my needle minder collection. Now this isn't everything, because there's a couple whips I have going out there that have the minders on them, and I just really didn't feel like taking them out. Just to show you the minders. So we'll show you what I have on here. This board I've had for a couple years. My husband bought it for me, I think when I was pregnant with the 7-year-old maybe, or in between, I can't remember. It was a magnetic board to hold your chart, and as you can see, I used it quite a bit. And actually a couple years ago, I discovered using a laptop lap board from Barnes & Noble's worked awesome for me, because it has a little clippy on the side and I could put my chart there. Just kind of as I got more confident with my stitching, I didn't need the ruler to mark where I was at as I've changed up how I stitch. I just found the board was easier because then I just had the little clappy on the side, and then I could change up more easily everything I was stitching on. Plus, this would not hold a standard size piece of paper very well. I'd end up cutting it to fit, and it was just a pain in the butt. Alright, so everything up here on the top is a mishmash from all different places I've ordered from before Jeannie started making hers. Now that's who I order from. These ones I did order on Stash Unload, and the lady who sent me these was really awesome, because I just ordered these and she sent me a really cool pair of scissors and a skein of floss at the DMC variegated floss, which I did not expect. I have my Thorin, I have a Harley, Jasmine, my couple dragon ones that I had on my Khaleesi, my Fire and Blood, and my dragon. I have my Dharma, I have a Jax from SOA, because I love SOA. This one is really cool, but it's kind of bulky. I ordered it, and I didn't realize it was this bulky when I ordered it. What makes it cool is, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, oh, yeah, you can. I hold it the right way. There's a little hole in there, and it goes the whole way through to actually stick your needle through to hold it. This I'd ordered. It was really cute. And of course, when I ordered these flip-flops, I was like, well, I had to get 2 of the same because I wanted a matching set. Now, everything down here on the bottom is from Jeannie. And, oh, Charlie's upside down. I ordered, if you're a Losty, you know this scene, the Not Penny's boat. I ordered this because we love Inside Out. I love Sailor Moon. I'm really starting to like these square towels that she's doing. This was actually a freebie from when she first started that you got to pick one, so I picked my initial. These 3 are new. I ordered a Sleepy Hollow from the TV show. We love that show. Me and my husband do, and I love Gone with the Wind, so I had to get my Gone with the Wind stuff. And this is one of my custom ones that she made for me with my girls. I have 2 other ones. This one's actually from the youngest one's first birthday, so the little one, middle one was turned 4, and the big one was turning 10. That's 3 years ago now. And the other ones I have are from second, like the last one's second birthday and third birthday. I'm going to have to get 4th birthday pictures done here. We just do a group shot now with all of them, call it a day. So the next shot will be, they all are 13, 7, and 4. So, got my Heath. And then this is when I ordered the horror stuff. Blair Witch Project. And The Exorcist. I love this movie. Even though when I was little and I first saw it, I knew all the tricks of the trades of it. I still love it. Though I still I went and saw it when they re-released it with added footage, and there were people in there going, I've never seen this before, and screaming and like, oh my god, and I'm just like laughing because it's funny to me. I have a very, very weird sense of humor, and it takes a lot to get me to jump. And of course I'm my cow because, you know, I love him. But that's really about all it this week. I just wanted to get something up little. I don't know, just rambling, I guess. Oh, I almost forgot. I had posted in the other day, and I think I posted it Friday, in the Charting Creations group about how come Monday I was going to order that Steampunk Harley Quinn chart. Because after the week I had, I needed to treat myself. Now, I didn't go into details. That was the extent of my post. There were some people that knew what all goes on because they're Facebook friends of mine on Facebook, that they're not just in the group. So they had seen my postings. Lady, I've never seen her name outside of Charting Creations. Heidi something, I can't remember. I know it starts with a B. Commented on there, going, consider yourself treated. Check your email. Meanwhile, this woman had no clue what went on. And when I commented back to her, oh my god, thank you. You don't know what this means to me after dealing with burying my dad and my husband's surgery and this and that. I'm like, this was not a poor me post, poor me, oh, somebody feel bad for me, treat me. I just was like putting it out there in the world, mainly to kind of remind myself too. But it was like a little bit of a venti type deal without getting too venti, because I hate those posts in groups. Just to kind of ramble to people going, you know, hey, I've had a crap week, so as soon as I get paid, I'm treating myself, because we've all been there with our stitching. The posts I hate where you see all the time on a picture, oh, I wish I could afford this, oh, I'm too poor to afford this, oh, I can't do this, oh, I can't. Okay, we get it. Don't have to comment on every single thing about it. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So Heidi, her last name starts with B, I'm sorry, I can't remember, told me to check my email, and I just printed off the cover page so I could show you guys. Racked me the Steampunk Harley Quinn, which, yes, I am a Marvel girl. Straight up, I'm a Marvel girl. I love me my Avengers. I love me my Thor. And I love Black Widow. But when it comes to badass comic chicks, DC has it covered. They've got Harley. They've got Poison Ivy. They've got Catwoman. As much as I love Marvel, the extent of what they've got is, yeah, there's a couple of them in X-Men, but there's just something about the DC girls because they don't have superhero powers. They don't have that extra gene. There's nothing, like, the only non-mutant I can think of in Marvel is Black Widow, which she's badass in herself. She deserves her own movie, in my opinion. But there is something about Harley, which to me, this is a take on Harley. It's straight up. It's as close as to Harley as you can get without getting in trouble. There's always been something about Harley that has intrigued me, because how can somebody who has this degree in psychology and be this smart woman just fall under the Joker's spell to the point where she becomes what she becomes? And I am thoroughly looking forward to the Suicide Squad movie. One, because of the new take on Harley, but then also, I'm a Jared Leto girl, too. I've had a crush on him since I was 14 years old. If you were a teenager in 94, you know exactly what show I'm talking about. My So-Called Life. But it's just the fact that somebody just had no idea what was going on and just went, here. And I also want to throw out, I don't know if she watches YouTube, to Erica Sage for saying she'd send me a Harley needle minder to go with the chart after she saw my comment about why my week had been so bad. And I didn't make that comment expecting anything else. It was just out of the goodness of these people's hearts, which is what we as a stitching community need to do more. Well, that's about all I have to say for today. I also want to say thank you to all the newer subscribers. What is it? I'm up to 101, and I started this only about 2 months ago? About a month and a half ago. It said September 4th is when I did my first video. So thank you to everyone, and any comments, questions, leave them below, and I'll answer them for you. Everybody have a great rest of your day. I'm going to go make sure the kids haven't killed themselves. I don't hear any screaming, so that could be a good thing or a bad thing. And then also just treat each other kindly. That's what we need. All right. Have a good weekend, guys.